Hello and welcome to TALRadio. Namaskar to all the people listening to us right now. At TAL, we connect those who are willing to give to those who are in need. And giving is not easy, especially when we talk about happiness and peace. Let's welcome Suraj from Heartfulness. And literally, the name of the organization took my breath away. And I'm sure everybody who's watching us or probably listening to us right now, it must have taken your breath away too. Heartfulness. Suraj, welcome to Tal Radio. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks a lot for your time. Heartfulness, such a beautiful name for an organization. Can you just briefly explain what does heartfulness technically, what it is all about, and how are you associated with it?
Absolutely. Heartfulness is a way of living, which is the heartfulness way comes from Raja Yoga and it has been around for almost 75 plus years, but really it comes down to a simple set of practices that are all about connecting us with our deeper selves, into our heart, um, and removing the emotional impressions, these obstacles that often get in our way, so that we can live a more simple and pure life that's in tune with our heart.
A
The Heartfulness
simple,
Institute, yeah, go
yeah,
ahead,
yeah,
go ahead.
please. I said a simple and a pure life. Do you think it's easy in today's world? Maybe it is easier said than done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It sounds like an anomaly in today's world, but that's the ambitious mission, right? We're all ambitious in our careers, ambitious in our goals, and then why not try to achieve a life that's more integrated, one in which our heart can speak and we live day to day in tune with our heart. That's sort of I would say the aspiration of the Heartfulness Institute, this nonprofit that's designed and around the world with millions, at least 1 million practitioners and more, but really trying to help people, equipping them with these practices to live a more integrated life.
It's so beautifully you've put that 1 million people are already associated with you. That means 1 million people have already decided that this is their ambition to live a heartful life. Thank you so much
Yes.
for those beautiful words. So, moving on, I would like to know a little bit more about you. How are you associated with heartfulness? Like, what's your role and your experience with heartfulness till now?
Absolutely. So, um, for me, I've been blessed in that I was born and brought up in Atlanta, and I grew up in a family of meditators. My
Oh,
parents actually met through Heartfulness, and
wow.
yeah,
This is
from a young
beautiful.
age, just imagine. It was a unique childhood for sure. Like imagine from a young age, I just grew up with like people from all different religious, socioeconomic, cultural backgrounds would just show up to our home, ring the doorbell, and I knew as a kid how to welcome them in, ask them to take off shoes, wait in the meditation room, and then I would bring my parents. And so even though I didn't start until I was in high school, it was like it became very normal for me to expect that adults can just sit quietly and close their eyes together. It's a very natural thing.
That's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to know that you are not just as a person connected, but the whole family. In fact, probably your birth was technically a reason because of heartfulness. So it's so beautiful to say that. And really, thank you so much for,
Absolutely.
diving so deep into the history and, of course, telling about your personal life as well. So I'm sure the way you are associated with heartfulness, probably anybody listening to us right now is not associated. So kudos to you
Yeah.
for that. So moving on to heartfulness, as the name suggests, it is all about unwinding. And you are coming up, I mean, the organization is coming up with a beautiful event called Unwind. And this is one word, especially if you look up to this busy life that everybody portrays on social media. I think everybody is going to a vacation to unwind as if. So, what is this event all about, and why unwind? Why do we need it? Are we so tangled in life?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say like the aspiration for something like this starts from, I started instructing and I became a volunteer instructor from Heartfulness almost 7, 8 years ago. And it was back when I was a student at Georgia Tech. I was an undergrad engineering major. And I remember, I mean, life got to a point with academic, social life, and just my own personal journey that without meditation, without even, without that 5 minutes every day where I could just close my eyes and connect and anchor within, I don't think I would have survived. I don't think I would have stayed as sane and survived through the experience. And so for me, like, it's personally extremely important to bring these tools of mental health and awareness, which are all offered free of cost at Heartfulness, to as many people, as many young people as possible. And having worked on college campuses, I know how important it is, how much I need it as well, and how much people can benefit. And so now, I'm doing my master's in business at UC Berkeley, and I'm here in Fremont, California. And what we've put together a team of young people. We all decided that we wanted to do a bigger gathering, a bigger seminar, one in which, not your typical conference where you're busy and going from one place to the next and trying to network. There will be a little bit of that, but really a 3 day experience where you can go within and truly unwind, learn some introspective tools, and have some inspiration from similar community members and some inspirational speakers.
Great. So probably Unwind is an event to know yourself better and know the people who are like you better.
Absolutely, really wonderfully said. Yeah.
Well, so moving on, let's talk about a little bit more about Unwind. So what are the topics that this particular event, Unwind, is going to cover?
Yes. Unwind I think there's three really main objectives for Unwind, right? We're really covering first, it's different topics, speakers, and panels around all the aspects of wellness, right? So it's not just, yes, Heartfulness might be an organization that focuses on meditation, but we're partnering with people and organizations that focus on, health, food, wellness, physical and mental wellness as well. And so you can expect to have sessions on meditation, yoga, and reflection. So those moments to introspect and connect with yourself. But then you'll also have some lighter moments like really wonderful music program, some good hiking opportunities, and a chance to connect and chit chat with other folks in the community.
So it's like meditation, but on a holiday.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, especially when you have people who are like-minded and you have music. Music is just like a therapy after all. Especially the kind
Yeah.
of environment, the kind of people that you listen a certain kind of music. I'm sure it plays a very big role in anybody's life. So when we talk about these three segments, as far as I understand, so there is a mental wellness, which includes uh, meditation. There is physical wellness, which includes yoga. Then there is
Yes.
like stomach wellness, which includes food.
Yes.
And certainly the most beautifully curated, how poetry comes out through you is through music, basically. So you have all these things covered. So moving
Yeah.
on, when we talk about all these aspects that I just mentioned, who would be the keynote speakers here? Because I'm sure when people go to a certain event, when you talk about who is attending the event, that is also a very big criteria that influences others to,
Yes.
be a part of the society or the community. It's like they are there. Why should I be left around?
Absolutely. I'm so excited. We have truly like a wonderful lineup of speakers, and I think for us as a planning team, it was really important to have ones that are not going to lecture you. This is really meant to be a more interactive and meaningful experience, one where you walk away and you feel like, it's not adults telling young people what they need to do, but it's really people who've been there, had really stressful moments and, made it in their careers to give you advice of say, here's the roadmap on how I did it. Now you plan it out and you figure out how you're going to chart your purpose and live in tune with your life, your heart. And so with that in mind, I'm really proud to announce like we have Dr. James Doty, who is a Stanford professor and American neurosurgeon, who's done so much research on compassion. He's worked and done talks with the Dalai Lama. He's really like, he's going to be one of our main keynote speakers, talking about his research, his latest research on the mind, and understanding what does gratitude and giving do to our mind, and how is it that we should actually, is pay it forward actually right, and how we should um, maybe act and change our lives based off of what we know about neuroscience. And the other really main one that I'm excited is the Heartfulness Global Guide, Kamlesh D. Patel, who also goes by Daji. He is somebody who has really inspired me in so many ways. He's been a successful businessman and pharmacy owner in Brooklyn, New York. He grew up in Gujarat, spent the last 30 years making, being very successful, making a ton of money while also meditating and diving so deep into his meditation practice. He's been teaching for over 50 years and now leads and is building one of the world's largest meditation halls in Hyderabad, India, and hoping to create, other centers of light across the world. And so those two, I would say, are the most inspiring speakers. And then, of course, I'm excited to say that we have a lot of young people, people in their 20s and 30s, who are going to be on panels and workshops to help guide us on, how do we overcome our anxiety when we're public speaking? And then how do we chart our own path, whether it's law school, med school, entrepreneurship, learning from people who've been there, done that, and see what we can learn from the meanderings that their journey took.
Wonderful to know that, especially when you were talking about Daji and the most beautiful, I mean, how you beautifully curated that he was so passionate about meditation, but then he comes from a business background and he has been a very successful entrepreneur. So he was meditating and making money. That's how you put it up.
Yes.
So it's like it's like people who are into spirituality can also be a part of the mundane world. It's not that they need to be exclusive of it. It's like they are affected by it, just that the way they perceive things is different from a normal human being, from people like me, probably, I would say. It's so beautifully put up by you. And especially, Suraj, initially, one of the sentences that you mentioned that, a team of young people like you just came together and you had this ambition of organizing this big event. So I was just wondering, organizing anything, even if it is a dinner at home, is not an easy thing. There are hurdles in that also. So organizing something to this extent where you are inviting so many people all together for a 3-day event, not a conference, but it's like a holistic overview to get a holistic overview of the life. How difficult was it? How many months? How many sleepless nights your team had? Just walk us through it. I mean, because anxiety must be a part of that also.
Absolutely, absolutely. I gotta say, if there's one thing I've learned from the heartfulness practice, it's that it's the truly integrated living is not about running away from problems, but it's about learning how to deal and handle with them in a nuanced and flexible way. Right? One thing that our teacher Daji would often say is like, it's easy for somebody to go off into the forest where the only person that you can talk to is like a lion or a tiger, but it's a lot harder, and you grow a lot more spiritually by learning how to deal with your mother-in-law, your father, like the
The
day-to-day
relationship we have in life,
relationships.
a realistic one, yes.
And so to your point, absolutely. This team has been working for months. I'd say since May, we had the idea, and then the team, it's like 6 or 7 of us coming together on a weekly basis to help plan, okay, how do we do outreach? How do we do programming? How do we get speakers? And, pulling in the help of our elders as we need, but really trying to take the initiative on our own. And it's not been easy, right? It's, as you can imagine, like you said, like there's always different opinions, there's different roadblocks, different bureaucracies that we'll face. And I will say I'm really glad that like the thing that has really saved us is vision and intention. right? When you have a vision for what we'd like to see, is I imagine when I see our beautiful meditation hall and venue, I see the Fremont Center and I see 400, 500 folks there, all gathered together, joyful and excited to deepen and go within. Something that they've will probably never experience and have never experienced before. And with
That
that
is
vision in mind, I think we're unstoppable. It kind of helps us to overcome some of the bickering and the arguments that we face. But I think with that purity of intention, that I really truly believe that this will change people's lives, and it has changed my life completely. And so we want to share this, and we want you to come.
beautiful. I mean, purity of intentions and the vision. I'm sure when you have a vision, it literally kills everybody egos also, because it's like your vision comes together, everything falls short of in front of that vision. So beautifully said. So let's talk more about unwind. I'm sure people who are
Yes.
listening to us right now or watching to us right now must be unwinding. If you're not, you better do it. On a lighter note. So, but what is in for the attendees? Now we know it's a 3-day event. We do know the sections, we do know the speakers. What would be the crucial takeaways for them from this event?
Yeah. I think it's multiple folds, right? We depending on where you're at, right? Sometimes we've already started a job and we're early in our career. And what we really need is a moment to step back, assess where we're at, what are our priorities and aspirations, and then chart a plan forward, a roadmap forward. So for that individual, this is an opportunity to really like get to know and connect with yourself better and walk away with a set of tools and some inspiration on, okay, it's possible. I don't have to just go and do whatever my friends are doing. I can figure out what it is that I truly aspire to do and I can pursue and follow that path. Some of the brands that we're talking um, to partner with the event, they're started by young people who did a certain, maybe typical professional path and then decided, no, like I want to bring in because of things that happen in their life. They want to bring in the wisdom of Ayurveda and create their own cooking brand, right? So things like that, I really feel like they serve as an inspiration for what it is that is possible in our lives and how we can touch others. And then I would say for others who are maybe in college, in some sort of schooling, it can just be so overwhelming. We have so much going on and chaos in our lives. And so this experience really is an opportunity to, again, step back, just relax, right? And be able to connect and find other people who are also there on that journey with you. You're not alone. And for me, if I didn't have a weekly group meditation, both virtual and then I created one in person at Georgia Tech when I was an undergrad, those really helped because not everyone is going to relate with the things that you're going through. But when you're with other people who are also focused on self-care, wellness, we can give each other support along the way. And I think that's really what I hope to give people is that, yes, you got experiences, you've got your tools that you walk away with, some interesting speakers, but also like it's so wonderful to walk away with 5 people that you've met that you're now going to stay in touch with and you can check in with each other every week or so to say like how are those goals going. You said you're going to work out every week. How's that happening?
So beautiful. In fact, I was just wondering when you said that, that everybody's life is filled with chaos, which is the reality in today's world. Whether we like it or we don't like it, we have to accept it. Whether you're talking about school going kids, whether you're talking about college going kids, you talk about, you know, um, people who are grown up, married into domestic life and all this, everybody has a
Yeah.
certain chaos in their life. And
Yes.
I'm sure everybody would love to get out of it. And if unwinding is providing them an opportunity, grab it. Go for it, I would say.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You have
Absolutely.
an opportunity to get out from this clutches of chaos in your life that you have presently. So moving on,
Yes.
when we talk about unwind, a little bit more info I would like, for our listeners, I would like you to give them this kind of an information. First is there an eligibility for this event? Like, do you need to be in the surrounding areas, or you could be from anywhere and everywhere, and you could be a part of it, or an age barrier, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So this experience, the Unwind conference, is designed for ages 18 to 30. But aside from that, we don't really have any location or any other strict criteria in that sense. We already have people registered from, you know, Canada, East Coast, all coming to California. So we have hotels available, hosts, and that all information is available on the website. But really, this is open to any and everyone between ages 18 to 30, whether you're a college student, young professional, or something in between.
So technically, people from 18 to 30 are the people whose life is full of chaos. Is that
Well,
what I should understand?
we'll do a 30 plus event next time. I
Because
think the guarantee I can give because of the age restriction, or maybe the one thing we're hoping for is it'll be less uncles and aunties telling you what to do and more of an opportunity to help each other out.
absolutely, because whenever you are at this kind of an event where you want to meet people of your own kind, if you have somebody policing you, it becomes difficult. So very
No, yeah.
beautifully said. You'll not have many seniors to police you, but yes, you're yourself, and you will have those beautiful takeaways. So, Suraj, before we let you go, you have to tell us, except that happy moment, which you've already discussed, that that's how your parents met. While growing up, you know, any kind of beautiful memory that you have of such kind of event that you attended or you probably organized for Heartfulness, any kind of memory
Yeah,
that you can share with us.
absolutely. There are, Heartfulness has events happening around the world. And so whether you're in Europe, when I studied abroad, I visited centers around the world, or whether you're in India. Right now, there is just a recent, really big event that just happened in Hyderabad called Rising with Kindness. Um, and or whether you're in the US, I feel like I've really benefited from these different events over the years. The one that comes to my mind is one of the first events that I put together when I was a student at Georgia Tech and an instructor, and we called it the Heartfulness Way Retreat. I had heard from so many of my friends that, oh, I just want to like, if only I could run away into the forest from all these classes, and if I could just go to a cabin for 1 week, then I'll be able to fully rest and relax. And as someone who had just started, teaching meditation, it was really crucial for me to show that like you don't need to run away, right? We can reserve a classroom in this campus that we associate with so much stress, and we can actually create a space within this campus that feels warm, inviting, and connects us with our inner self. And so what I did was we put together a classroom, 8 hours. It had beautiful windows and some whiteboard walls. And we had 30 people come in for 8 hours. And we had, you know, meditation, some like social time and good conversation. We all read parts of a book and then did activities based off of it. And then we just had time to reflect and go within ourselves. And by the end of that experience, I remember, I mean, all 30 people looked at each other and they were just amazed. They were like, I didn't even think about my phone for 8 hours. I forgot that you know, that we didn't even have our phones with us. I was just so absorbed and having such a good conversation. Um, and I forgot that we were even in a classroom. It just felt like we had a retreat um, within ourselves. And so I'd say that moment is one that I hope to continue creating for more and more people, because it's something that once you experience, you don't want to let go of.
Wow, that was beautiful. In fact, when you were narrating that particular incident, or I would say a happy memory, it literally felt like as if you were reading from a book, kind of feelings that you were just, saying. It was like literally a page, beautiful page narrated by some author from a book.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, really. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the best. And also, before we let you go, what is the venue for this event that people can just run away, close everything in their lives, lock themselves inside, and have the beautiful peace and tranquility for which they would love to attend this event.
Absolutely. I was waiting for you. I was like, I don't think I've mentioned how to register. So
Yes.
I was gonna say for more information about the Unwind conference, please visit Unwind, so UNWIND conferences .com, unwindconferences.com. And the venue is in Fremont, California. We have a beautiful meditation center where almost like 1,000 people can fit, and we've done multiple events with other organizations there as well. So if you're in the Bay Area, if you're anywhere in North America, or even outside of the country but want to fly in for this experience, you're more than welcome to, and we'd love to have you. It'll be November 8th, 9th, and 10th um, in Fremont, California.
Now, November 8th, 9th, and 10th, like the way they say, save the date. So this is saving
Yes.
the date to save yourself. Save yourself and register yourself for Unwind. Thank
Wonderful.
you
Yeah.
so much, Suraj, for those wonderful thoughts and for letting the people know that there exists or there is an upcoming event which is going to change their life for better. And there will be so many takeaways from it. Thank you so much for being a part of TAL Radio today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks a lot. And thanks a lot for tuning into TAL Radio. Keep listening.